Being grateful isn't just a feeling. It's the key to unlocking a life that has fulfillment and joy. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
You know, as we age, gratitude is a powerful tool for transforming everyday experiences into a source of happiness and actually your health.
And if we can go through life, or if we do go through life without a sense of gratitude for all that we have, we can harden, we can become self-centered, and we can become unaware of all that the world has to offer.
That's like a big mountain you just put out there.
Well, I did, because if you're going through life and you're not grateful, it's going to
Right.
hurt your relationships, and it's going to hurt your ability to live every day to its fullest, because you're not stopping to, what's the term? To smell the roses, just to be aware of how everything that's in front of you right now, you need to be grateful for.
You know, it's funny. I wonder if you ask people, are you grateful? If everyone's immediate reaction is to say yes.
I bet.
Yeah.
That on the surface,
Yeah,
people
I just thought of
are
that
grateful.
because I think on the surface we all think we're grateful, but are we actually living those thoughts, or is that, you know what I mean?
I do, and I think that's what we want to talk about today. We want to have this mindset of gratitude really be around everything that you do, everyone that you're with, and everything that you see, because then the transformation that can take place in your life is amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
Because-
it's almost like a gratitude journey. Like if you kind of think about it, because I do think I think if we asked any one of our 6 kids, do you live a grateful life? I think they'd all say yes.
It would. But today we want to give you all the benefits of actually living a grateful
Right.
life, not just saying, oh yeah, I'm grateful.
Right.
And if any of the things that we're going to talk about today are missing in your life, then you have some work to do. And we work on this all the time.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely work on this all the
Yeah.
time. And some days are better than others for us, and they might be that way for you. So if you're new here, I'm Jody, and this is my husband, Mark.
Hi, Jody. How are you? Now, we don't focus on the financial aspects of retirement, but rather lifestyle, health, relationships, and more.
So please hit the subscribe button and the notification button so you get notified when our videos come out. And share this with someone you care about who's on their retirement journey as well.
All right. When I think of a grateful person, in a way, I think of my dad.
Wow.
At the same time, I think of my dad, where he started to lose it as he got older, near the end of his life. He said he was grateful, but he didn't live it that way, and that hardened him. I mean, he was a hard guy.
Yeah, I don't think I knew him in his grateful years, to be honest.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I knew him as, as he was much older.
I
I came into his life 20 years ago.
So he said he was grateful, but
Yeah.
I don't believe he acted that way. And I'm not picking on my dad. He just came to my mind of someone that truly, he was a spiritual guy, and he was kind and all of that. He was an alcoholic, so that probably had something to do with it. But I think that actually making this transformation into living a grateful life is what we're going to talk about today, versus just saying you're grateful. Because he would say it, but the next thing out of his mouth would be how he couldn't forgive someone, and this guy's a jerk, and this guy's that, and this person's this, and how could they say that to me? How could they do this? That's if you're having feelings like that on a regular basis, then I don't believe you're really living as grateful a life as you can.
See, when I think of people that we know that live a grateful life, I would say my brother lives a grateful life. I mean, he actually will say at the end of, I would say probably 2 out of 4 sentences, so maybe 50% of the time, he always says grateful. I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for that. And I think he actually walks the walk and talks the talk. I also think your brother Chuck lived a very grateful life.
Oh, he did. Chuck,
He was very
God
grateful.
rest his soul. He did. He was a good example for me and for all of us about how you can be grateful. So
let's
those
talk
are
about
3 examples: my
what
dad, your brother, and my brother.
Right.
But,
Wonder why we picked all men for those examples.
Are there any women you know who are grateful?
Well, yeah.
Who?
I mean, I would say Valerie Mason Cunningham lives a very grateful life.
Okay.
When you say, how are you? She says extraordinary by choice.
Every day.
Every day.
And that's that's her signature on the bottom of her email is live. I live life. Well, what was it?
Extraordinary by choice.
Extraordinary by choice, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think I bet you all know people in your life that you can think of live a very grateful journey. And watching them live the journey, you might notice some things that their life has, or some 3 or 4 things that you could do. So why don't we start with the first thing we're going to teach today?
Okay, and by the way, we dropped below a link for our journaling guide that we put together a few years ago. Check this out, because we're going to talk about this in the next few minutes, but having a morning practice of journaling, including writing things you're grateful for, really is helpful. So that link is below. But the first advantage of living a grateful life is improved mental health, because if you really can be grateful for everything, it's going to reduce depression, anxiety. It's going to enhance your mood and your overall well-being.
Especially if you really feel it as you're living through the journey. You're not just saying it, but, cultivating a more optimistic outlook on life. You do increase your resilience by doing that. And then you also help yourself cope with stress. Oftentimes it boosts your self-esteem and your confidence. And I try to do that when I talk to, some of our kids who might be in challenging situations at work, or, everything seems to be going the wrong way. Take them back to what they're grateful for, and I watch their self-esteem and confidence build. Yeah. And I think that's the same with retirees that we talk to.
It's a very grounding practice to be in, to kind of get back in touch with who you are and all the goodness in your life, particularly when you're feeling like there is no goodness in your life. You're stressed out, you're anxious, you're feeling like things aren't going your way. When you're grateful for everything around you, that feeling goes away. And the other thing that helps you out with being grateful, it's going to enhance your physical health. Because if you're making healthier lifestyle choices, and if you're exercising and feeling the effects of exercise, and be grateful for the fact that you got out of bed this morning to go to the gym, and you're grateful you can afford to go to the gym, that's really going to enhance your physical health.
Yeah. It's really, being grateful is linked with lower blood pressure and improved heart health. It promotes a stronger immune system, and it also can help lead to better pain management and discomfort if you're somebody who lives with, agonizing, constant pain.
Right.
Why not do it? Far, those are only two
these
reasons.
Are benefits of living a grateful life. And so we're going to tell you further on down here how to do this. But right now, this is what's going to happen to you if you start to do some of the things we're talking about. The third thing you're going to get better sleep. If you can go to bed in a relaxed state of mind, and be relaxed before you go to bed, and count your blessings and think of 3 things you're grateful for, it's really going to help you fall asleep. It's going to reduce the amount of time it takes, versus thinking about all the things you don't have, all the things that are wrong in your life. So being grateful is a good practice before you go to bed.
Yeah, it's been proven to increase the quality and duration of sleep, right? Which I know you've found during your meditation practice, that, when you think about the things you're grateful for, or you meditate on your grateful journey, that it does help with that. It also lowers any negative thoughts that can disrupt your sleep. You ever have one of those startling moments where you wake up in the middle of the night and it's, kind of a negative thought in your head? And I think overall it just encourages a more peaceful, restful sleep.
100%. It's a good idea. Good comment. So the fourth benefit of living a grateful life, and you've mentioned this a few times, is your increased self-esteem.
Yeah.
When you're grateful for what you have and what you look like when you look in the mirror, and really feel grateful for everything in your life, it stops you from comparing yourself either to others or feeling negative about what you're looking at in the mirror. So that's going to definitely increase your self-worth and the value that you bring to other people's relationships.
Right, because it overall promotes that positive internal dialogue as opposed to negative internal dialogue, right? So fostering a sense of, more personal accomplishments, which I think is always good for everyone, and allowing you to have that confidence, you're usually up for more personal growth.
Yeah, which is important.
And challenges, which is important, especially at this stage of life.
So the fifth thing, if you're living a grateful life, and you're really emanating that type of positive energy, your relationships are going to get stronger and healthier, 100%. Because you can communicate better, you're more open, you can build mutual respect and understanding with the people in your life. And I think that's When you're grateful and instead of, what's the opposite of grateful? What am I thinking of? Ungrateful. But, just not even paying attention to the good things in your life. I mean, you're not making a big deal out of it.
I do think it's important, though, under this bucket of stronger relationships to, not just say the words how grateful you are for things, but actually, physically, walk that walk along the journey. Because, I find it annoying when someone continues to tell me how grateful they are for things, but they don't actually act that way.
What about me?
Might be who I'm talking about.
All right, so just yesterday, I went to watch the sunset on the beach all by myself. It was freezing cold out. Freezing cold. It was 50 and windy.
Right.
I had my hoodie on, my sunglasses, a hat, all bundled up, and I sent 7 1-minute videos, 9 1-minute videos. 1 to each of my 6 kids, 1 to you, 1 to Jimmy.
1 to my pop.
And who was the other one? But what I did was, I did a 1-minute video.
I don't know. Who was the other one?
I can't remember her name. Was 7 grateful messages. How grateful I am for them being in my life. And it was from the heart, and I meant it. And I wasn't looking for anything back in return. I just wanted those important people in my life, especially you, to know how grateful I am for everything that we have together.
That's nice.
Where's the video I sent you? Did you look at it yet?
I actually downloaded it and saved it.
Do we want to play it for everyone?
I can if you want me to. I have my phone right here.
No, you better not.
Okay.
But that's, that's an example. And I'm not bragging about myself, but it's this thing of going a step further to really let people know that you're grateful.
Well, you also find a way through that grateful journey to foster a connection and belonging with people individually.
Right.
And I think a couple of our kids actually videoed you back.
They did. Jordan,
with their own grateful messages.
Markham called me. Jordan sent me
a
video, and Maddie sent me a video.
Yeah. So 3 of the 6.
Yeah. And Jimmy, we have to talk today, and Evan sent a really nice text, as did Christopher. So anyway, the other thing that's going to happen when you're living a grateful life is you're going to have enhanced empathy. You're going to be able to be more sensitive to other people's emotions and situations that they're in. And it's going to reduce the chance of you maybe getting a little aggressive. And instead of responding, you're going to react to something. And that's not healthy. So this grateful life, increased feeling of empathy is going to help your relationships as well.
So I guess you could actually say it helps with any conflict resolution skills that you might have. If you're grounded in your grateful journey, you can approach conflict in a better way.
You can.
Because everybody has conflict, even if you're grateful, and you're not usually grateful for your conflict, but maybe it helps you kind of center and come up with some better resolution skills.
100%. I also think being grateful, enhancing your empathy, it really puts you in a place where you want to be a little more generous. It puts you in altruistic behavior. This is a time of year when we want to give away tips to people that serve us or make donations to nonprofits. But if you're really grateful for everything that you have, you're coming at it from a feeling of abundance instead of a feeling of scarcity. You're living your life through abundance instead of scarcity. And there's nothing like reaching out and giving someone some help, whether it's your time or money. So again, increasing your empathy, being grateful helps that as well, which is important.
It also, as we work down the list of things that it does for your life, it reduces your thoughts around materialism, shifting your focus from stuff and things to appreciating what you currently have. Fostering contentment with your current possessions as opposed to envy and jealousy of what somebody else might have.
Yeah, you can get in trouble here with this whole idea of always wanting the next latest and greatest iPhone, eyeglasses, watch, whatever it might be, because if you've got what's so funny?
And you say that as you have the latest and greatest iPhone, and I still have an iPhone 10.
Because mine broke, and yours is about to break, so you need one.
I'm still a 10.
Well, they build these phones so that they don't really last forever, right? They don't.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a saying called hedonic adaptation. And what that means is when you get the new car, the new phone, the new watch, the new outfit.
Excuse me.
In the very beginning, you have this rush of excitement over that new item.
Right.
But over time, and sometimes pretty quickly, it's now just another shirt. It's another car.
Right.
It's just another phone. And frankly, my phone is just another phone. It's a tool that I use. We use in business and to communicate and do videos. So being grateful for what you have reduces the need for constantly bringing in the latest and greatest stuff, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
Okay.
The eighth thing I would say is it increases your optimism just for life in general, fostering a positive expectation for the future. And who doesn't want that as they enter retirement? You know, encouraging hopeful outlooks for even challenging situations and reducing your ability to jump immediately into the negative pond, right? Motivating you to be proactive and constructive as opposed to reactive and negative.
Yeah, and that's what happened to my dad. You know, he got hard, and he was a cynic, and he got negative on people. He got negative on everything. This damn phone doesn't work. This doesn't do that. That car's no good. That salesman sold me a piece of crap. You know, that is where he went with that.
Right.
But if you're being optimist about it, optimism, you know, all of a sudden your life, your perception of life around you brightens up.
Right.
And you brighten up the people around you. Because if you're telling, oh, I got this great new car, it's wonderful, I've had it for a year already, and I still feel like it's new, I love it. If you believe that, then that increases your chance to just be happy and have those around you be happy.
Yeah, so it does.
Being an optimist
it does
really
increase your optimism,
right.
You know, as you work through your journey.
All right.
The next thing is it enhances your resiliency. You know, it enhances your ability to bounce back from adversity. If you live a grateful life on a grateful journey, it encourages positive interpretation of maybe even your past traumatic events, which I think is really interesting because it's building mental strength as you face future challenges, and we're all going to have them.
You know, it's funny. We are going to have them.
We're
we
all
do
gonna
have
have
them.
them.
We had them this morning. You and I had this chat this morning about why life is hard sometimes. Well, why being in a relationship like this is so hard. It is hard because we have, oh gosh, we have these little things that like I might do that bother you. And when you're not feeling grateful and you're a little wired up, that is a big thing all of a sudden.
Right.
And the same
And
thing.
in retirement, you have a lot more time together. So having this better resilience because of your grateful journey definitely helps with the relationship and any future challenges that we may have.
Well, we're going to get, at the end, we're going to talk about, again, how to build a more grateful life. But for me, you know, with me and you, what I do every morning for 5 years, I write down my 3 gratitudes. And the first one is always Jody. And it's Jody - something about you that I'm grateful for.
And let's be honest, it's not always like
What do you mean?
Jody and her smile. Sometimes,
Well, no, it's never that.
sometimes it's Jody and her sassiness. And
It's
I'm not
whatever
sure
it
if
is.
that's positive or not.
It is. It's just that when I look at you and I think about you, it's always positive.
Oh.
Even when it's negative.
Oh, wait, even when it's negative,
Even
it's
when
positive.
it's negative, it's positive because I squash that and I feel good about who
Well,
you
thank
are.
you.
But that's the resilience part.
Yeah.
If I'm ever feeling like, oh, she's such a pain in the ass, I'm like, no, she's
Happens.
not. I am so grateful that you're sitting next to me right now doing this because
Yeah.
if I was alone, no one would watch.
That's not true.
Well, it is
That's not
true.
All right. The next thing is it actually heightens your energy levels, right? It increases vitality and enthusiasm, and it helps you kind of embrace all the daily activities that you might have without any feelings of fatigue or
Being lethargic.
Lethargy.
Lethargy. Lethargic.
Lethargic.
We'll have to look that up.
Lethargy.
You know, when you're grateful, it's going to give you higher energy levels like I have right now. I'm so grateful that we're able to do this, to share with you, to maybe have you live a more grateful life. That gives me a lot of energy.
And your comments give us a lot of energy, for sure.
Whose comments?
The comments.
I think you meant my comments. Oh, no. So it boosts motivation, it boosts drive, it enhances our physical and mental stamina. These high energy levels are important.
Right.
It's so easy to wake up and be like, "Ooh, this is going to be a bad day. It's raining. Nothing in my life is
Do you
going
know it's
right."
actually supposed to rain here on Christmas?
Okay. It's better than snow,
Is it?
and we need rain.
Is it better than snow on Christmas? There's nothing better than snow on Christmas.
We're in Florida. If it snows down here, we have a problem.
I know. You're right.
So being grateful gives you this higher level of energy that you can exude happiness and joy to everyone around you. So, and by the way, we want to make sure you stay to the end because we're going to give you 5 steps that you can take to live a more grateful life.
All
So
right.
you got to stay and watch that.
All right. The next topic, it's being grateful has been linked to improved heart health. And it's been linked to lowering the risk of heart disease and even stroke, which I think is interesting because it encourages heart healthy habits. Why do I keep getting all the alliterations today? And routines, reducing inflammation in your body and promoting better circulation and heart function. I mean, I think if you can control your mindset and move on your grateful journey and it has direct health implications that are positive, why wouldn't you try it?
It's funny. I have some health conditions. I have cholesterol. I have high blood sugar. I have some issues with calcium buildup in some of my arteries. But I am so grateful that I'm sitting here right now with you talking about this. And my health issues are just there. I don't worry about them. I don't think about them. I take some meds. But I work hard at the gym. I'm grateful that I can get up in the morning and go to the gym. And that is going to help with my circulation and my heart function and lower my cholesterol levels because I'm not moping around being ungrateful. I'm grateful for everything around me.
Right.
For the lunch we had today. For Ruby. For you. For these lights.
Ruby.
For everything. I mean, it does work, and we want you to stick with us on this because these are all the benefits. We want to make sure you stay to the end and listen to the 5 steps we have for you because it's really helpful.
All right,
and the other thing.
Let's get through these benefits.
Okay.
Come on.
That's it?
No, but I mean.
All right, you know what it does, being grateful?
What?
It gives less anxiety.
Yeah.
Less anxiety. You're going to spit the water out? So
I have been fighting this cold, so I'm just trying really hard not to cough.
it does reduce your feelings of anxiety.
Right.
It helps you promote a calm and peaceful mindset. It encourages the ability to face fears with a positive outlook. I mean, that's what living a grateful life does.
And it really can help in that anxiety bucket reduce your overthinking. I mean, how many of us are overthinkers?
Right.
I mean, I think, I'd raise my hand on that one. But overthinking leads to worry, and worry is kind of...
Leads to stress. Stress leads to anxiety. Right. All of a sudden you have a heart problem. So,
right.
All right. If you're living a grateful life, it's going to enhance your ability to be more mindful, to live in the present. Live in the present moment and really feel like, oh my gosh, what I have right now is amazing and this is great. Not thinking of all the things you don't have and dwelling on the past and future worries. I mean, it gives you an awareness of the beauty in everyday life, even if it's cloudy and rainy.
Yeah, it almost helps you enhance your focus and your concentration to really promote a connection with your surroundings. If you really sit in it for a minute, even just a minute a day, sit in that gratitude to start. I mean, it's just such a wonderful thing.
Well, I think we mentioned this earlier, but another benefit of living a grateful life is boosting your immune system because it strengthens the body's natural defenses. And we're down here in Florida. You had the flu last week. I felt like I had a touch of it yesterday. I know a lot of my buddies up in the Northeast, because everyone's inside now, they say the flu's running around up there. COVID is still a thing. So I want to do whatever I can do to live as long as I can, but also live healthier.
Right.
So boosting your immune system naturally without drugs, just by being grateful. Who wouldn't want to do that?
I agree. Anything that will help link you to a faster recovery. I mean, I know I've been fighting this cold for like 10 days and I still have lingering effects of it. So anything I can do to help with that would be great.
We've done 14 so far. 14 benefits of living a grateful life. There's not one in here that I don't think any of you would really want to turn away from. So this is really an important topic today to really think about this. We're going to give you some work at the end on how to do it, but it's just, it just makes your life so much better. Because the other thing it does, number 15, is reduces your negative emotions. And
I think we talked about that.
We have, but there's other things like feelings of, comparison. So you have envy and jealousy. It helps you remove tendencies of regret or bitterness, and it really helps you let go of past grievances you might have with people. I think that that's really important.
You know, that word bitterness is one that kind of just, I don't know, it just kind of hits me, like, when you meet somebody who's bitter and you think they have, kind of the world, at their hands, a little bit of gratefulness in their life really desensitizes that bitter pill.
Well,
but people who age and become bitter. And
do you want? You don't want. And
you just don't want to do that.
We don't want to become those people. We don't want to become that person. Those are the people you walk into an event and you see them and they're just complaining and they're full of jealousy and envy. They've got negative emotions. Everything is bad. The weather's bad. Life is bad. My kids are bad. They're toxic. You don't want to be around them. So there's a benefit, again, to being grateful, to push all of that aside.
And that kind of leads to the next one, which is just, opening your heart for more forgiveness, right? Encouraging the letting go of grudges and resentments, promoting, reconciliation and healing in relationships that haven't maybe worked, and fostering a little more compassionate view of others' mistakes, almost emanating this kind of inner peace,
It does. And, I don't know if we're on different spectrums. I think we're moving a little bit, but I'm a very forgiving person. I have learned a long time ago it's easier to forgive, and I enjoy forgiving. I have this joke where I hand out forgiveness cards to people that I meet. So you can do whatever you want to me. It doesn't matter. You're forgiven ahead of time. Because carrying around a grudge or resentment, it's like carrying around a hot potato. It hurts. It hurts your heart. It hurts your soul. It hurts your brain. So being grateful leads to being more forgiven, which really just opens up your, like you said, inner peace and being more content with everything that you have.
Yeah, I'm not as great at forgiving. I go from, whatever the place is of someone where I can't forgive to indifferent.
Yeah.
I don't hold the hot potato and hold the resentment and harp on it. But I go, and that's not good.
I eat the potato, and then I'm friends with the person again. That's what I do.
You do.
I do.
You do.
All right. So
the 17th one is really just kind of the sum of everything we've been talking about. Increased happiness. If you can keep yourself on a grateful journey over the next 20 or 30 years, you're going to elevate your overall mood and joy. You're going to have a more positive outlook on life, and encourage yourself that there is joy in small everyday moments.
Yep,
and that's something to really, really focus on, especially during the holiday season.
And you're going to have negative moments. We all do. You're going to wake up in a bad mood. You're going to have something go wrong during the day. But what this does, being grateful, because it increases your happiness, it kind of changes or reduces the impact of that negative experience. You're like, well, it happened.
Yeah.
Move on.
Right.
Be grateful for the next thing in your life. Be grateful for the small things, so that doesn't become how you identify yourself at that moment or during the day.
Right.
For me, this is important. So being grateful lowers my blood pressure. And, it does because of some of the other things we talked about. It makes you less stressed. It's easier to relax. It's linked, being a grateful person is linked with healthier lifestyle habits, because I don't want to be stressed or anxious. I don't want to have a high blood pressure. I don't want to be on meds for that. I don't want to have a heart attack. I have to be careful.
I don't want you to either.
No, so this idea of being grateful just calms everything down.
Right.
It lowers your blood pressure. It promotes calmness, reduces anxiety. I mean, we've mentioned it in, 10 of the 18 that reduces stress and anxiety. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. Number 19 is it helps improve your decision making. And you might say to yourself, well, how can a grateful journey help that? But it's linked to enhanced clarity and focus. It encourages you to think a little bit about long-term consequences, not impulsive short-term decision making. And it fosters a more balanced and thoughtful approach. So all of that helps you improve your decision making.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you an opportunity to stop, look, listen, pause.
Stop, drop, and roll. Remember that when you were little?
What was that?
I think that was when your house was on fire.
If you got on fire.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah, well, that's not what we're talking about. But sorry. I'm grateful I never had to do that while I was on fire. My mom got on fire once cooking breakfast.
Popcorn?
No, she had one of those old foamy, ridiculous...
Foamy?
Those old puffy...
Not sure where we're going with this.
Bathrobes.
Oh.
And she had the bow in the front. and she's cooking bacon and eggs or something. The bow got in the fire, caught on fire, and I put it out, and I was like a hero. She didn't have to drop, rock and roll.
Stop.
Rock and
Stop,
roll?
drop, and roll.
No, I put it out.
Right,
I was like a little hero.
Good.
All right. It reduces loneliness.
Number 20.
Yeah, I mean, if you can be grateful about the few relationships that you have, the one relationship, the special relationship, it's going to reduce loneliness. Well, we have, if our kids are watching us, they're going to crack up. There's a couple we recently met across the street who have become really great friends. And they're away up in Minnesota for Christmas. And I feel a little lonely without them here. I do. But when they're around...
Our front doors, they're across the street from us. So, if one of them comes out of the door, we come out of the door.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of one of those things. We both have dogs. We meet in the middle.
But I'm so grateful we met
street,
them. I'm grateful for our conversations. And that gives you a sense of connection and community. Right. It encourages you to reach out and build new relationships. Right. Another thing we did last week, we had a busy week. This week, Tuesday night, we had a thing called Drinks in the Driveway. And there's about 35 homes in our little neighborhood. We put a little flyer in everyone's mailbox saying, hey, we're going to host Drinks in the Driveway at our house and bring your favorite drink and your favorite appetizer. And people showed up and they go, I don't know anybody here. I said, well, we don't either. That's why we did it. But I'm grateful that we've got people that live near us that are nice and kind, and now we're getting to know them better.
Yeah, that was fun.
So being grateful helped initiate that move in the beginning. So, again, stay to the end. We're almost there.
Almost there.
For the 5 steps.
Oh my gosh, number 21. When if you're in your career or you're thinking of a next career, on your grateful journey, there is this sense of greater career satisfaction, increased job fulfillment and engagement, encouraging positive relationships, with your colleagues and clients, and promoting more of a sense of accomplishment and purpose, which helps reduce burnout. And, we see that, a lot with especially the work from home environment where it's, 24/7 people are working, that job related stress and burnout is really a thing.
And I think both of us in our career, we were grateful for everything that we had. We were grateful for the promotions. We were grateful for the raises. I was grateful for every new client that came in that helped lift the boat, so to speak.
Right.
To bring in more income. Every new employee that came in. It's just if you're grateful for all of that as well, you're happier in your job.
Right.
Number 22. If you're living a grateful life, it will definitely boost your ability to be more creative because it encourages an open-mindedness and being able to have new perspectives on something that maybe you're caught in your old ways. So being grateful really does help, and it helps me or us with some innovative thinking when we're thinking about this business that we're in.
I guess I'm trying to think of the correlation between being grateful and boosting creativity. So is it because you reduce your fear of failure a little bit?
And your stress.
And you have more confidence to try new things?
Self-esteem.
Okay.
You're less stressed.
Right.
You're less
I get on board
anxious.
With that.
It takes away a lot of the negative thinking. It's hard to be creative if you're caught up in a sad moment, or you're caught up in, living a life of not abundance, but a life of scarcity.
Right.
Thinking about all the things you don't have. You don't have any room in your head to get creative. So again, being grateful for everything that you have, that just everything around us right now, just opens us up to be happier, more energized,
Definitely.
More ability to create.
Gotcha.
How'd I do?
All right, I'm on board.
Okay.
I'm on board.
All right.
All right. The 23rd thing it does or can do for you is increase your generosity. And I think we did touch on this. It encourages sharing and giving and fostering a sense of abundance. Your willingness to help is a little bit heightened, and it enhances the joy in making others happy. So I think that's a pretty self-explanatory one.
And I think that our Drinks in the Driveway Tuesday night, in a way, was a combination of generosity. It was a combination of living a life from abundance, making other people happy, building a caring community in our neighborhood, so that instead of just waving as someone goes by, you kind of know their name now and you might have a little chat. We met some really nice people.
Yeah.
So I think that being grateful does increase this whole idea of being generous, not just with your money, but generous with your conversations with people.
Absolutely.
All right. So the other thing that really does help, and this is important for us, is that being grateful will help you with your parenting skills because, and we just talked about this again this morning, our 6 kids, but we need to have patience and understanding about where our kids are in their life.
Right.
They're twin 25-year-olds up to a 39-year-old, and they have their own spouses, they have other families they're responsible for, they have a job. We can't expect them to be, at our feet at all times, kind of like coddling us. They have lives. And I think that being grateful for the fact that we have 6 self-sufficient, well-performing children along with their partners allows us to have a little bit of ability to parent differently and with less stress.
I also think it's when you promote the theory of and the value of gratitude, you're really modeling, what it's like to live a grateful life. And with all the 23 or 24, enhancements that we talked about today, why wouldn't you want to model that behavior and have your kids live, kind of an overall more harmonious life with, all of the things that we talked about. So I think it's about modeling it too.
Yeah, I love that.
In the parenting side.
All right.
The last one.
Well, not the last one, but
the last one before the 5.
Before the 5. So this idea of being grateful is going to help you with your journey of spiritual well-being. Mm-hmm. And we're actually...
Whatever that means to you.
Whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
And up until recently, for me, it's, I've always told people that I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. And I feel a deep connection with my personal beliefs. And it gives me a sense of peace and purpose. But, we both started recently reading the Bible. And I say that because I never really had before. I mean, in Sunday school and all of that. But we're taking our spirituality to another level. And we're doing that because we're grateful for what we have. And we're curious to learn more. Mm-hmm. Would you?
I would agree with you. And I think we're trying to enhance the appreciation of life's mysteries and wonders. And, I personally have never read the Bible from start to finish, and there is really no start and no finish because it's not really in any type of chronological order that I've found. But I do think that it has promoted a lot of self-reflection and gratitude.
Yeah, which has been phenomenal for us. And as we aged, we are more curious about the afterlife, more curious about God, more curious about believing in a higher power. So have an open mind about that. Be grateful and do that. But here we are. Here are 5 steps that you can do to live a more grateful life.
That you can start today. These are quick hits that we'll go through quickly that you can start today.
And honestly, these are easy.
Yeah.
I mean, these are no-brainers. Some of them kind of flow with each other. But the first thing is to practice daily gratitude reflections. So either do this in the morning or the evening. Take a few minutes to reflect on at least 3 things you're grateful for. And it can be major life events to simple pleasures like this glass of water. I love the taste of the water today.
You do?
Sure, I do.
Good old Marco Island water.
So I do this in the morning. And again, we gave you the link to the journaling guide, which gives you actually a plan and a worksheet to work on this. But 3 things that I'm grateful for, I write every morning. The first one is always Jody.
Oh, and
so I think that if you just do that for the next month, you will see a change in how you live your life. I promise.
The second thing you can do is keep a full-blown gratitude journal. Just writing down things that you're thankful for, writing a paragraph around it, sharing it, typing it, sending it out to others, keeping it personal to yourself, but keeping your attention on all the positive aspects of your life can really be a source of encouragement during tougher times. You can always go back and take a look at it.
Yeah, and that's a step up from the 3 things every day.
That's a whole journal.
That's a whole journal.
Yep.
And you don't have to write every day in this, but if you're doing the 3 things every day and then you want to expand on it, then write something longer about. I mean, I've got thousands of pages of journaling I've done about you.
Oh boy.
You want to read it?
I think so.
All right. The third thing to do, express gratitude to others. So that's where we talked about this, not just saying it, but doing it. The videos I did yesterday. I mean, listen, there are so many people in my life and in your life, and I'm sure in your life, that helped you along the way. And whether it's a video or it's a note or a small gesture, but acknowledging those people's roles in your life, it's going to deepen the connection between you and them, and it spreads positivity.
Right.
They're going to feel great all day, and they might do the same thing.
You know, the fourth thing you can do is incorporate gratitude into some challenges. You know, when you're faced with a difficulty, try to identify any aspects you can be grateful for. Could it be a learning opportunity? Are you finding some hidden strengths? Are you finding great support from others where you may not have known that they were supporters? You know, find those areas and opportunities to be grateful.
So the fifth step, and it might sound basic, but it's important, is you can set reminders for gratitude practice. So our lives are busy, just like yours are, I'm sure. And it's easy to forget our grateful intentions. So setting reminders on your phone or placing visual cues around the house, on the fridge, whatever, can help you keep gratitude at the forefront of your daily routine. We have a thing that we do with our family called Saturday.
Selfie Saturday.
Selfie Saturday. All of the 6 kids, grandkids, the parents, 6 kids and their partners, we have to take a picture of ourselves on Saturday where we are and what we're doing.
No matter what you look like, no matter what you're doing.
Like. And it's fun. It kind of, again, we're grateful for each other as a family, and it's a nice practice.
It's a good way to connect.
That we have.
Now listen, we're sure this video sparked some ideas on how you can be more grateful, even just journaling or reaching out to others that are important to you, or finding a better way to say thank you.
Now, I hope you like this video. This next one is called Prioritizing Your Mental Health. And it's going to give you 3 things you need to focus on, as well as a bunch of habits and routines to get your mental health back online, which includes being more grateful.